let's talk about analytical geometry rules. The first rule that we're going to go through is the distance formula, right? Okay, we need to know the distance formula. The distance formula tells me d is equal to the square root of, and because it's the distance between 2 points, we're going to take x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. That is the distance formula. All right, from here, we go to the midpoint formula. You know that the midpoint formula is always the midpoint between 2 points, but where the distance formula would give us an actual length, a value of a length, the midpoint formula gives us another coordinate. So the midpoint is going to give us another set of coordinates, like an x and a y value. They're going to give us an x and y coordinate. All right, so I know that m is going to be, we're going to take 2 points, x1 plus x2 divided by 2. We're looking for the midpoint, and that's halfway between 2 points. So we divide by 2, and we're going to do the same with our y values. y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And that's how we're going to find the set of coordinates there. All right, okay. On top of that, we also have the gradient formula. Let me write gradient before I write m. Okay, we have the gradient formula. And the gradient is small m, midpoint is big M, gradient is small m. M is going to equal to, now we use this one when we also look at the equation of a straight line. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, a couple of other things we need to know about gradients is that if we have parallel lines, then my gradients, my m of the first line must be equal to the gradient of the second line if they are parallel. All right, that's the first rule. The next thing is if I have perpendicular lines, then the gradient of line 1 times the gradient of line 2 must give me -1. Okay, yes, Jessica, we need to know them, and it's good that we have them in our brains, all right, because we don't want to forget them. Right, the last thing we're going to look at is the equation of a straight line. Now, we are already familiar with the equation of a straight line. We all know that the equation of a straight line is y is equal to mx plus c. And you're more than welcome to use this formula. But for analytical geometry, no worries, more Lucy, welcome. For analytical geometry, we can still do this. We can say y minus y1 is equal to the gradient multiplied by x minus x1. And I can show you how this other formula, this one down here, works when we are doing these questions. All right. And these are the rules that we need to know for analytical geometry. All right, I'm going to give everybody a chance to take a screenshot. Okay, I'll give everybody a chance to take a screenshot. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you've written them all down, if you've taken a screenshot, or if you already know them, if you're already familiar with all of these rules. Excellent. Jessica, I knew your hand would go up first. That's it. Thank you, Nomfundo. Thank you, Uradilwe and Unati and Amogelang. Thanks, Nicole and Sisipo. Good stuff. All right, let's get into today's questions. All right, we're going to start with a question 2. I want you guys, what is the first thing we always do? Who remembers? Whenever we see a question like this, what's the first thing we always do? What's our first step? Who remembers? Anybody? Step number 1. Yes, Oratile, amazing. That's it. Okay, correct. What we need to do is read the info we've been given. We must read this. Okay, read this part over here. Read it. Okay, because sometimes they will write things over there that they don't draw on the actual drawing. And then they're going to ask you a question about the thing that's not in the drawing. And then you're going to put your hand up and you're going to be like, no, this question is incomplete. No, it's not. Okay. Make sure that we're reading all the information. All right. So let's start by reading. Make sure that everything in that write-up is on the drawing, and then we can continue. Okay. So it says here, in the diagram below, P is the 0.10. Excellent. They've given us the 0.10. Q is 6,3. Good stuff. And R is 9, -2. Beautiful. Okay, they're the vertices of a triangle such that PQ is equal to QR. Now that information they haven't put on the drawing. So that's something we need to know. We know that the distance from P to Q is going to be the same as the distance from Q to R. There's something interesting, right? They haven't told us that. They also tell us that PQ is perpendicular to QR, and they've even been nice enough to put in a little 90-degree sign over there, a little 90-degree angle over there. Right. Now, before I even continue with the write-up, if they tell us that this is a 90-degree triangle, what should we already be thinking about 90-degree triangles that could help us? What do we think? What do we know about 90-degree triangles? What other kind of formulae can we use? What other formulas can we use for a 90-degree triangle? I want to see who's going to pick it up first. Yes, that's it, correct. We might have to use Pythag. We never know. We might have to use Pythag, right? Or maybe rather than Pythag, what else do we know that also uses 90-degree angles? Anybody? What other kind of maths do we know? Yes, Anotida, beautiful. We know that we might have to use Sokatawa. Somewhere Sokatawa might come up. Trigonometry might come up. I'm not saying that it will, but just in case they have, you know, that one question at the end of the section that's everybody in your class was like, yo, Chomi, what answer did you get? Those are the kind of questions that don't exactly use analytical geometry. They might use a little bit of trigonometry or a little bit of Pythagoras. So we need to bear that in mind as we go along. All right, now it says T is a point on Q such that T is the midpoint. So now we know that this is the midpoint. Lucky for us, we know something about the midpoint formula, which is lovely because we can use it, right, of PQ. S is the point of intersection of RQ and the x-axis. Now, if this is the point of intersection with the x-axis, what does that tell me about my y value over here? What does that tell me about my y value at that point? Who knows? What is my y value? Yes, Sisipo, beautiful. We know that our y value is 0 because it is an x-intercept. Yes, correct, Isayan. It's the same as P. So what we're really going to have to figure out for S is maybe the x-intercept. We don't know yet. All right. Okay, V is a point on the x-axis such that QSV, so they're telling us about this angle, QSV, that one is 121 degrees. We're not sure what that sentence means. Maybe you can help us out. Okay, QPS is also theta. So we know somewhere along the lines, we're going to have to use some of these formulas to figure this stuff out. All right, let's get into the questions. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller because I want to fit everything on the page. Okay, oh, and there goes everything that I've drawn moving. Okay, it's fine. We have all the information we need though. We do. I can redraw it. It's fine. I know all your teachers' secrets. Stick with me. Stick with me. I got all your teachers' secrets. Okay, let's start with question 2.1, everyone. I'm going to give you guys 4 minutes. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 4 minutes to complete just for these 3 questions. That one, that one, that one. Okay. I'm going to, in the meantime, I'm going to put back the information that we know. This is the midpoint. We know that that one is the same length as that one. Okay. And we know that the coordinates of S is something. We don't know what the X value is, but we know for sure that the Y value is 0. That's okay, Jessica. We're going to do it slowly together. Hi, Bo, anotida. Whoa. Yeah, no, I agree, Oratile. Like, I. There's 2.2. You guys can have a look at this. But Anotida's cheating. I think Anotida's already done this question. Probably did it at school or something. Because I know exactly where your teacher did it. Lies. All lies. Okay. Then Anotida gets to do 2.2 as well. Amogelang, I can 100% guarantee you, if there's anybody who's finishing an exam in 15 minutes, they probably didn't pass that exam. Even the smartest kid in the class, if they're finishing an exam in 15 minutes, they probably didn't do much. Trust me. Phew, you guys are super duper fast. All right, peeps, let's look at some of these answers. Okay, so let's talk, guys. Fingers on the keyboard. I see, so let's see if that is indeed the case. All right, so it starts with saying, determine the length of PQ. Now, in order to determine the length, which of the formulas that we have are we going to use? Good, Oratile, correct. That's it, Sianda. We are going to use the distance formula, right? Because distance will give us length. Okay, good. So we know that they're also telling us to leave the answer in surd form. Now, what this means is do not click SD. You know that SD button on your calculator that you're used to pressing and your calculator gives you like 7,435, that kind of thing? Don't do that. Okay, a surd literally means leave your answer underneath the square root. So you're going to leave your answer under the square root. That's what they want. So if you click the SD button, they're not going to give you the mark. All right, you need to not do that. Okay, here what we're going to do is we're going to start by going to P and Q, and we're going to name them. I'm going to take P and I'm going to name this X1 and Y1. And then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to name this one X2 and Y2. Now remember, guys, that if I name this one over here X1, I can't now decide this one must be Y2. No. If the first X coordinate is X1, then the Y coordinate right next to it must also be Y1. We can't mix them up. They must both be from the same point. All right, so we're going to do the distance formula. So I'm going to go PQ is equal to the square root of, now I know X2 comes first, so X2 is 6 minus 1 all squared plus my Y2, which is 3 minus Y1, which is 0, 3 minus 0 all squared. Now, if I'm smart and I know that I don't really like doing things in my head and I don't really remember my squared numbers or whatever, I'm not going to try and be a mathematical hero during my exam. I'm just going to pick up a calculator and I'm going to put the answer in. We're not even going to fight it. Okay, you're going to take this exactly the way it looks. You're going to input it into your calculator and your calculator is going to spit out an answer and you're going to give me, and then you're going to write down the answer. Move on with life. Don't fight with the mathematics, not in an exam. All right, not in an exam. We only fight with the mathematics in class when we're still trying to learn, not during an exam. All right, so I know that 6 minus 1 is 5 squared plus 25 plus 9 should give me 34. So my answer should be the square root of 34. Okay, Jessica, check again. Like I said, make sure that you're putting it all on your calculator exactly the way it looks, my sweetie. Okay. All right, not very much, not very much. All right, let's talk about the gradient of PQ. We have the formula for the gradient, and lucky for us, we've already named the 2 points y1, x1, y1, and x2, y2. So we're just going to use them the way that we have them. Okay. How would we get 14 here? Did you guys, those of you who are getting 14, did you put a minus in the middle instead of a plus? Because that's what I'm hearing. Because 25 minus 9 would give you 14. Did you put a minus or a plus in the middle? Double check for me, please. Okay. All right. So in order to do the gradient of PQ, the gradient of PQ is going to equal to y2, which is 3 minus y1 over 0 over x2, which is 6 minus x1, which is 1. 3 minus 0 at the top will give me 3 over 6 minus 1, which is 5. And that's the answer we should get. All right. Okay, so you're going to get 1 mark for substitution, 1 mark for the final answer. Same over here. 1 mark for substitution into the correct formula, 1 mark for the final answer. All right, 2.1.3. Teacher notes, please help Anuchita. I can't remember right now. And I've switched off my functions because I want to see my whole screen. All right, now we want the coordinates of T. But we remember, Isayan, there's no need. There's no need. Remember, the fraction is your most accurate answer. Okay, so don't make it 0.6. It's not necessary. Leave it as 3/5. Okay, fractions are always the most accurate. All right. Okay, now we know that the coordinates of t are the what? Correct, Dando, beautiful. It's the midpoint. And we have the formula for the midpoint. And again, we've already named our two sides, x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're just going to substitute into the formula. So I'm going to go the midpoint of t, open bracket, x1, which is 1, plus x2, which is 6/2. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Y1 is 0, plus y2 is 3/2. Then I can say that means that the midpoint at t is 7/2 and 3/2. All right, 1 mark for substitution, 1 mark for the final coordinates. Give me your mark out of 6 in your in the chat for me, please. Tell me how much we got out of 6. Okay, Lucy total. Okay, for those of you who got 5 out of 6, Jessica and everybody else who was getting 14, are we aware what we've done that didn't quite give us the answer that we were hoping for? Okay, I need us to make sure that we've done it correctly. Okay, excellent. Good stuff, Sisipo. Now, guys, I need to remind you. Okay, Jessica, I'm going to speak to you in just a little bit once I give everybody else the next section to do. Okay. Okay, so I just need to remind you guys that when a question is out of 2 marks, you either need to get the question 100% correct or you're not going to get any mark. Okay, because 2 marks lets us know that this is all accuracy, especially in analytical geometry. All of it is accuracy. So if you get that part wrong and your answer also comes out wrong, they're going to give you 0. The only time where they can start considering whether you've used the correct formula is if there are 3 marks or more. So accuracy means that we must get everything correct. 1 mark questions and 2 mark questions means leave no space for a mistake. We cannot make a mistake. We must get everything right. Otherwise, we're going to lose all the marks. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, but they use the distance formula. No, you must get the correct things everywhere. Okay, that's what 2 mark and 1 mark questions are for. They are called knowledge questions, which means you know what you're doing, you do it, and you get the answer. All right, let's go on to the next one. Now it says, calculate for the area of triangle QTR. Okay, so in order for us to calculate for the area of QTR, what do we need when we calculate for the area of any triangle? Anatida, what do we need?
We need the lengths of all the sides.
Excellent. Are you going to help me find the lengths? I know you've already answers because I feel like you're already done with this.
How did you know? I mean, I didn't even do it at school. I'm just very fast today.
Okay. No, we can just say it's because you're good like that. We'll take it. We'll take it. It's because you're good like that. Yeah. All right. Let's start with QT. Okay. Let's talk about the distance of QT. Oh, by the way, since we've got the coordinates for for T, I'm going to put them in here. 7/2 and 3/2. All right. Take it away. We know we want the distance. QT is equal to what?
The distance QT.
Oh, no, I lie. Actually, we don't even have to do that. We don't need to. Okay.
What do you mean?
We don't actually need to do that. I want you to figure out, why do I say we don't need to find the length of QT using the distance formula? We can just say QT is equal to something. Do you know why?
Why?
I'll give you a hint. It's in question. The answer is in question 2.1.1.
Oh, so it's just square root of, okay, so we divide that by 2.
Correct, we divided by 2 because T is the midpoint of PQ. So we can just take the length of PQ and divide it by 2. Good. So we know that the length of QT is just going to be root 34 divided by 2. Cool. What is the length of QR?
The length of QR, well, I actually put everything in decimal form. Well, that's 7/2 and 3/2. I turn it into decimals.
Oh, I see. No, that's fine because that's just going to be what, 3.5 and 1.5?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
which is fine. 3.5 and 1.5. That's perfect. All right. What do we know about QR? And if you're guessing, Abigail's got the answer for you in the chat. What is the length of QR?
I got square root of 34.
Correct. It's the square root of 34 because they've told us that PQ and QR are the same length. Good. We've got those lengths. We know that this one is the square root of 34. In order to calculate for the area, do we need the length of TR?
Not really, no. We just need
No.
half base times height.
Correct. We just need the base and the perpendicular height. Good. So what is the formula for the area of a triangle again?
It's half base times height.
Good. So we're just going to punch that into our calculator. Good. We're going to have half of our base. Our base doesn't matter which one. Let's make QT our base. So we're going to get half of root 34/2 times the height, which is root 34. Give me an answer, my dude. Punch that into a calculator and give me an answer.
Give me a science error. I wonder what did I do? 1/2 open bracket square root 34 divided by 2. Okay, let me put that in brackets. That divided.
And then open another bracket and then put in 34. Should give us.
I got 0.25.
0.25. No, it shouldn't be that tiny. It should be something like 17/2. Or 34/4.
Oh, that's why. Square root.
Everybody's getting 12. But yeah, I believe Ritsiphile's answer. Let's see what everybody else is doing that isn't coming out exactly the way. Ritsiphile's answer is 100% correct. So I'm going to go 1/2 times, open bracket, the square root of 34 over 2, close bracket, open another bracket, and then put in the square root of 34. Close bracket. I get 17/2. I get 17/2. All right. I want to see something. Let me just see something. Anatida, you said you got 12, hey?
Yes.
I just want to see something quickly. I want to see if my suspicion is indeed correct. Okay, let me see.
Over the
square root of 32/2. No.
Oh yeah, now I got 8.5.
Okay. All right. Everybody getting 12. I'm not sure how we got 12. But the answer we're looking for is 8.5 or 17/2. Okay. I'm not sure how we do not get that. But thank you very much, Anutida. Okay, we just need to make sure our calculator work is on point, but 100%. All right. 1 mark for finding out the length of QT, 1 mark for substituting, 1 mark for the final answer. Thank you, Anutida, as always. Brilliant at the mathematics. You know, it just comes, it's second nature now. I feel like it just comes. Right. Oh, sorry, Faith. Yes, Faith, 100%. Units squared. Thank you for saying that. Units squared. Thank you. All right. Okay. The size of angle theta with reasons. All right. Let's go see, guys. How can we calculate for the size of angle theta? Who's got an idea?
Me.
Yes, tell me.
Oh, okay. Never mind. So, we're not going to use trig on this one. Can I just say it? Okay, straight lines is equals to 180. So we say 180 minus 120. Then we get our angle for that right there.
Correct.
What's up?
No, not quite. Not quite.
Not really.
Okay, I'll draw you a picture. Let me draw you a picture. Okay, this is a triangle.
Yes.
Agreed? This is a
Yes.
triangle.
Oh,
this is
that's the
exterior angle.
I was
of a
looking at
triangle.
something else. I was looking at something else. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if QSV is the exterior angle of my triangle, what would theta then be?
It would be 50. Wait, no. If that was our exterior angle, wouldn't that be, what is this? Over. Okay, it can't be.
Okay, let's just go through the rule quickly. All right, the exterior angle of a triangle is usually equal to the sum of the interior opposite angles. So 121 must equal that angle plus that angle.
Okay. So if I say 121 minus 90.
Correct.
31.
We're looking for it's
31.
21, 100%. Okay, 31, not 21. Sorry, 31. Correct. So the way we need to phrase this is we need to say theta plus 90 degrees is equal to 121 degrees, but they say with reasons, so we must give a geometric reason. What is the reason here? Exterior.
So it's going to be long. Okay, using our exterior angles is going to be equal to opposite angles in triangle.
Correct. Exterior angles of a triangle. Then we don't even have to sugarcoat it. We can just go, therefore, theta is equal to, what was that answer again?
To 31.
31, yes, 31.
31.
I almost said 21 again. 31. Beautiful. Okay, excellent stuff. Thank you very much. Anotida, okay, so next year, let's make this deal. What you need to do now is you need to just fail grade 10 so you can come back again for grade 10 next year.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Double it and give it to the next person. I'm done with this. This grade showed me hell.
I feel like you've already left us. You're already in grade 11. I don't even know why we're still here.
Yes, I hope.
Okay, well done, Anutida. Excellent work. All right. Okay, let's talk about 2.2.3, everybody. It says here the coordinates of S. Okay. No, Ritsepile, your answer is not incorrect. You can still get it 100%. No, Isayam, because we use the exterior angle, it must be exterior angle of a triangle. Okay, in fact, the full reason is actually exterior angle, not even angles. Exterior angles of a triangle is equal to opposite interior angles. Oh, sum of equal to the sum of opposite interior angles. That's the full reason. Okay, that's the full reason. All right, let's talk about the coordinates of S, because now we're gonna have a little bit more work to do here, right? Who has an idea on where we could go with S? Anybody but Anotida, because I feel like Anotida's gonna answer every question for every board.
All right, you guys don't.
No, I know. And I was like, I'm just gonna say, in Ano we trust, but I agree with that statement. You sound like a famous soccer player. But I want somebody else to give this one a try, because I know for a fact Anotida knows the answers. Okay, yes, Siamtana, of course you can try. Absolutely, hand up. Faith is here. Faith's hand is over. Hello, Faith. Siamtana, can I ask you for the next one? Because I didn't realize that Faith has already put their hand up. So Siamtana, don't put your hand up. Okay, it's fine. All right, Faith, what do you think we can do to find the coordinates, the x coordinate of S?
Okay, ma'am. So I think we're gonna use the gradient formula x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2, and we're gonna use q and r as coordinates.
Okay, sure, but that would give us the midpoint that divided by 2. However, our write-up has not told us, it hasn't told us that S is the midpoint. So we can't make that assumption. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Can't make that assumption. However, we know that S lies between which lines?
Lies between lines. Ma'am?
S is on which line? Line what?
Is on which line?
Line
Line what? Ma'am, it's on the X what X
It's on the x-axis, yes.
intercept.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. It's an
x-axis.
x-intercept, yes, you're correct. But it's lying on the x-axis. But look at what Jessica has said in the chat. It's on which line?
The QR line, QR.
Yes, it's on the line
QR.
Good. So, Faith, what do we call lines that, like, points that all share the same line? What do we call them? The word starts with co something.
Corresponding.
No, not corresponding. It's not co-interior.
Co-interior. Co-interior.
No, there we go. Abigail's got it. Abigail has just said it. Have a look in the chat. It's
co-linear.
It is. It's co-linear. It's co-linear. Sipo, you just took me. Sipo's like, Coco, no, not me. It's not called me. It's called co-linear. All right. So what co-linear means, Faith, is that if I find the equation of this line, then the equation of the line is going to be the same for all 3 of these points. Okay, it's the equation of the line is going to be the same for Q and for S and for R. But at the moment, we don't have the equation for the line where S is. Which equation can we find for which line? Instead of for the point S, we can find the equation of which line?
Equation.
You need this one, but this one is collinear with Q and R. So instead of finding the equation of the line at S, I can find the equation of the line QR.
QR.
Okay, can you do that for me? What do we need in order to calculate for an equation?
Equation, is it
remember the equation is y
mx
equal
plus
to
c.
mx plus c. Yes, correct. So I'm going to need 2 things. What are those 2 things?
To mx plus you were gonna need
I've just highlighted them.
the m gradient and c. What is c is I forgot this formula.
Yes, m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. We're going to need those 2 things. Okay,
yes.
But do we know at least how to calculate for the gradient? Can we calculate for the gradient of QR?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
m
can you
y1. Okay, ma'am. M gradient is x1. Is it minus with plus x1 plus y1 over?
No, my
No,
sweetie,
wait, no, it's y2 minus y1, and then it's x2 minus x1.
Correct. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I want you to substitute for me, my sweetie. Here's your y2, x2 and y2. There's your x1 and y1. Substitute for me.
Okay, ma'am.
Are you doing it yourself, or are you going to tell us what you've written?
Ma'am, okay. So it's 3 minus -2.
Good.
Brackets all over x2 is 6 over 1. 6 minus 1.
Minus, what's my x1 value?
x1 is oh sorry, 9, not 1.
9, correct. 6 minus 9. Okay, then you can give me an answer for this.
3 minus 2, 6 minus 9. We're gonna get a negative 5/3 or negative 1,67.
Okay, we're not going to make it because I know the answer that you're getting there is no, negative 1,6666666. No, we're going to leave it as a fraction. We're
Yes,
going to leave it as negative 5/3. All right, good. We've done the m
Yes.
part. We've done the gradient part. So we know that our formula now looks like this. Our formula now says y is equal to negative 5/3x plus c. We still need to find c. How do we find c?
C is our y-intercept.
Correct. How do we find the y-intercept?
Is it I don't know. Ma'am, I don't know.
Okay, all right. So
Substitute,
what
make
we're going to
x
do
0.
is good. Well, we can't do that
X equal to 0.
just yet because all we're going to get, if we substitute that x is equal to 0, we're going to get y is equal to c, right? So what we need to do is substitute one of these numbers. Maybe let's take that one. We're going to use that x coordinate and that y coordinate, and we're going to substitute in. All right, so we're going to get 3, right? Because my y value over here is 3. So I'm going to substitute 3. Let me just move this stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this coordinate. This is my x value, this is my y value. I'm going to substitute them in here. My y is going to be 3 is equal to negative 5/3, and my x value is 6 plus c. And now do you see, Faith, that the only thing missing for us to calculate for is c?
C.
Right. So we just need to clean this up a little bit. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can
So,
go 3 is equal to, if you put this into a calculator, it's going to give you an answer. Get that answer for me, please.
2, 5/3. Okay, so 3 equals to negative 10 plus c.
Good, plus c. I want to solve for c. What do I need to do with this negative 10?
Plus c. You take it on the other side and it becomes a positive 10.
Correct.
And then
So
you
that
add
means
into 3 and it
c
becomes
is equal to, how much is c going to equal to
13.
then? 13, beautiful, we
13.
found c. So we can then go into our formula and we're going to substitute that with 13. There, so that's the equation of our formula. Y is equal to negative 5/3x plus 13. Right. Now, we want the x coordinate of s, right? And we know that if we want x, we have to make y equal to what?
0.
0, good. So we're going to go into this brand new formula that we've just calculated, this one, the one that we've just figured out, and we're going to substitute y with 0. Okay,
0.
so we're going to get 0 equals negative 5/3x plus 13. How are we going to solve for the rest of it? What must we do?
Okay, so first we're gonna take the positive 3 and put it on the other side, and it's gonna become a negative 3. Is equal to
positive 3. Positive 3.
Positive 3 will be changed over the sign. It becomes a negative.
Are we talking
No,
about
sorry, not
positive
3, 13.
Okay, because
13, not 3. Yo.
Where's positive 3 now? Okay, good.
Yo,
Negative
like yo.
13. Okay, negative 13 is equal to negative 5/3x. Now I want x on its own. What do I need to do?
We're gonna divide by negative 5/3.
Correct. Divide both sides by negative 5/3. Okay, so I want you to do that for me on your calculator and tell me what x is equal to.
5. Okay, x is 7,8.
Okay, give it to me as a fraction, Masudi. X is equal to
39/5.
39/5. Don't be afraid of fractions. Okay, they are our friend. 39/5. Okay, good.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that means what are the coordinates of S then? Can you give them to us as a coordinate? I'm going to open brackets. Then we're going to get
Coordinates of
S.
so we found y, which was wait. Y was -5/3. Wait, now I'm confused.
No.
Now I'm confused.
Look, okay, remember, S cuts the x-axis, which means it's an x-intercept, which means our y value
Yes, ma'am.
must be what must our y value
Zero.
be? 0. Good. Our y
Zero.
value is 0. And we've just gone through that painful process to find our x value. What was our x value?
X value was 39/5.
Correct. Look at you, Faith, giving us the coordinates that we need. Well done. Beautifully done. Well
Thank
done.
you, ma'am.
Okay, we just need to take it a
Thank
step at a time, my sweetie. Okay, just take it a step at a time.
Yes,
Make
ma'am.
sure that you're doing it correctly. All right. Well done.
Yes,
Whew,
ma'am.
guys, that
Thank you,
was a lot of maths. The maths was mathsing. Sure.
Yeah, yo.
All right.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. All right, guys. Whew. Okay, let me ask. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being easy, I got this. 10 being, hi, ma'am, where were you when I needed you? How are we feeling? How difficult is this? 10 means very, very, very difficult. 1 means I can do this in my sleep. Zayn is like, -0. Who said that? Mfundo's just like, good night. I can go to sleep. Where were you, ma'am? Joyous, did you find that very difficult? Was that very, very difficult for you? Okay. This is giving where were you? Okay. Yes, correct. Okay. Jessica says an 8, Remy says 5, just to remember all the equations. Yes, guys. Okay. So I'll tell you what. Analytical geometry is more about remembering the formulas so that we can plug them in to find the answers. Okay, so it's not so much about, ooh, what do I need to do? What must I do? It's about remembering what the formulas are for. Okay, when they say length, we use the distance formula. When they say gradient, we use the gradient formula. When they say the midpoint, we use the midpoint formula. So it's plug and play, guys.